All right, welcome everybody. Today is Sunday, February 13th. It's actually Super Bowl Sunday, so I am looking forward to the game, to the battle. Not like this battle, but I am looking forward to the game. And I wanted to hop on, and let me get away from the talking. I could hear a lot of people talking over there. So the reason I am on today is to go over the two pieces I'm working on for the month, and that is this one and this one. So very different, and I'll show you where they are right now. So here we are, and as you see, this is where this one is going to be. Now let me get into the bigger version so we can zoom down farther. And I went over this last time, so I'm not really going to go over this one as much as the other one. This one's talking about the cryptocurrency issues and outlook that's going on right now, and then what's going to go moving on forward. If you missed that one, go check out that video. I think it's right before this one on the channel, but it talks about from the green energy, from hydrogen into, I believe, Ethereum especially is going to start butting heads with the energy usage that is just rampant. It's so much worse than 6 months ago, a month ago. It's I don't think it's going to change over in time. But anyway, check that one out. The one I want to talk about today, so I'll go ahead and close this one. It's getting really fun, but it's getting a little scary. But that's why we do this, so we can see what's going to happen now and in the future. So with that said, this one, there's always been this red frog-looking thing, and I never really got the reason for it, and it is finally coming to tell me what's happening. Right now, there is this. If you see that symbol right there, if anyone knows what that symbol is, you get 10 points. 10 crypto points. Actually, it's not crypto at all. It is the digital yuan. And the reason for that is I don't have to go farther into where it is. So it's right here. It's getting into, if you remember, the blue is more of this new metaverse world we're about to be living in, or this tidal wave of the metaverse coming in on us, with the global brain coming down with it. But I'm not going to go that far into it right now. I just want to read this one right here that I am working on. Oh, that's the smaller version. It's right here. So we can zoom in on this one, and I can talk about it. It really doesn't have effect coming from the other ones, other than the red, and then where it's going up into these other two, which is crest and undertow, which is basically this pulling into the new metaverse. I hate using that term because everyone's using it, although remember, I've been using it since all the way back here in 2021 when I got old Zuckerberg creating some type of new world, and I did not know exactly how crazy it was going to get. So these have been done through the months and taking us to this one right here. One of the two I'm working on for this month, 2 done each month. This one's February 2022, along with the other one, which is more about the crypto. But here, this one is a little, I don't want to say conspiracy theory-esque, but here's the situation. We've got Russia, Putin, and if you've learned anything about tyrants, in fact, there's a great documentary on the handbook of Being a Tyrant, something like that. It's great. There's I think maybe 6 episodes. So definitely watch that. It's on Netflix, but it does talk about how one of the ways they do what they do is by distraction. Kind of like a magician. Look at my hand over here, and don't look at what I'm doing with this other hand. And to me, and this is what's crazy. I never knew what this frog was, so I looked up poisonous frog in China, and because this is a red, it's a red dart, poisonous red dart toad. It's our frog. That's so what this has been telling me. Even this little legs that are have blue dots on it. Anyway, abstract frog. I've been wondering what it was forever. This is what it was before I put it into my Procreate and started drawing it. So it was always this frog-looking thing. It actually looks more like a frog there than here, but it's symbolizing a lot of things, especially with his brain coming out, because they're playing some serious mind games. Are we? Yeah, we're in the big version. This is the bigger version, so we can really zoom in. It's still nasty. I still have a lot of cleaning up to do over the month as I'm learning what's going on. But so everything will be cleaned up and added to whatever I'm learning through the month to symbolize it. But okay, so these eyes, they look like coins, right? Well, they're not cryptocurrency. They are the digital yuan. And I don't want to get too into the conspiracy theory mode, but here's the deal. We've got Russia saying that they're not going to invade Ukraine, telling everyone America's being a little too crazy, and we probably are. And this is what he wants. He wants to distract us, and I think China is playing along. At first, this is talking about the digital yuan in China. In the Olympics, they're trying to get the world to use their digital yuan and not use crypto. If everyone knows, they have banned Bitcoin, all cryptocurrency mining and usage in China. And they've been working on their own digital currency since 2014. Well, they were hoping that in the Olympics this is where they were getting everyone to use it. And because of their restrictions and the pandemic, obviously there's not as many people there. However, there's more transactions with their digital yuan than Visa during the Olympics right now as we speak. And the problem with that is Visa over the past, it's got to have been a decade, so years. If you can recall, every year the Super Bowl there's Visa all over the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, that's not Super Bowl, the Olympics. I got Super Bowl on my mind. It's today. So Visa has always been the proud supporter, sponsor of the Olympics for years and years and years. That means no MasterCard, nothing is accepted except cash and Visa. And now China has decided there's 3 types: cash, Visa, and the digital yuan. And Visa is not saying anything about it. They're not protesting it, even though they have a contract that says there's no other payments. But China is using the digital yuan and forcing people to use that to make payments. Now, if you listen to the messages from the future, you know that I have been talking about, or the messengers from the future have been talking about, how China has been systematically putting their money into Africa and is getting them so far in debt that they'll be owing everything that they have to China. And now with the digital yuan, they're going to not only make Africa use that, but also any businesses that are doing business with Africa and China themselves. and they can track every payment for everything, and that means other countries and everywhere else. So they are really trying to poison the fiat and the whole monetary system with their own currency. So U.S. is behind in creating their own digital currency, which I think because they are behind, and there's other countries that are behind, and they see the potential pullback of of making the central government's currency for the U.S., just like China's doing. There's going to be a lot of pushback because you can track everything. It's a whole different system, and it'd take forever to implement, and there'll be a lot of pushback. But now stable coins, which weren't looking very hot even a few months ago, might be looking good because and I said I wasn't going to go into cryptocurrency, but it is the digital yuan, and so maybe this area is going to be talking about the comeback of stable coins, and I'm still sticking to the point that the Bitcoin King and the crown jewels of Ethereum are going to have some issues because of the way they mine instead of stake and the intense energy usage. It's insane. So what's happening here is the stable coins will help the U.S. dollar maintain not just supremacy, but at least the value that we've enjoyed. So I think stable coins might actually be good for this, and same with ETFs, spot ETFs even. So maybe looking into that. I'm still, I don't know, the whole is basically the whole market's cut in half, but so is the stock market. So I'm taking all this with a grain of salt. However, I do see that this is an issue with China and trying to get their digital yuan into the hands and the phones of everybody and tracking everything. They're going for supremacy here. But there's a deeper, more conspiracy theory going on. So I talked about Russia, how they're claiming they're not going to invade Ukraine, but they make it look like they are. They're distracting. They're massively distracting what's going on. And why would they do that? Well, I looked up the poison frog once again because I was like, what is this poison frog doing? And as I've been researching, China's insanity taking over of basically the rights of their people, and actually their people falling in line with most of it, but they've been really aggressive. And here's what I am seeing. If anyone is following the China wanting to reclaim Taiwan, this is the strategy of a tyrant. I don't know if Russia and China are knowing they're working together, or they just happen to be working together with the distraction. But I see some synergy here. So basically, there's three things that are going on. China is watching how the U.S. is going to handle the invasion or potential invasion of Ukraine from Russia. So that shows the world how America might act on China when they invade Taiwan. They want to take it over, and I assume that is in their plans. But what they're doing is there's been war games that have been going on, simulations, and basically every scenario of China coming to take over Taiwan doesn't end up well, except for one, and it's called the poison frog strategy. And that means the islands in between Taiwan and China, these islands that are there, they just like a poison frog does, it shows its colors. It says, hey, if you try to eat me, you're going to get poisoned. so no one touches them. So if they're making these islands look like it's going to be very costly to attack, or it's not, it's going to, the attack's going to fail, that kind of thing, then that'll deter them. That's the way to deter them, because every other scenario is if it already happens and it starts, then it's pretty much, even sanctions, it's pretty much hard to stop. And for anybody, including the U.S. or the United Nations or anything, or any of our allies. So it's this poison dart, or poison frog. The poison red dart is a very poisonous frog. But the poison frog strategy is basically the United States and Taiwan and its allies would have to start working together right now to figure out the strategy and start making these this poison strategy work. So there has to be a lot of focus on it, right? Well, what you do is you take the focus away from there, just like 9/11 did. It took our focus away from China and put it into the Middle East. Now we've got, okay, let's take our focus away from China and put it into Russia's forces against Ukraine. So it's that distraction, that sleight of hand. Look over there while I'm screwing you over here, and that is what I think this one's telling me. I don't know if it's probably a mixture of it is. It's a mixture of what's going on in the Olympics. We're trying to get the digital yuan in the hands of the world, and also strategically figuring out a way to distract the world while they're about to make plans to attack Taiwan. Now, like I always say, I could be totally wrong. This is my art talking to me, and the thing is, I research while I do my art, so it's not just, I think this is what it is. There's some meaning behind it. So I can't tell the future. I'm just seeing that right now in this area, and for what's going on. So something to look at. I hate to say I told you so. If it happens in a few weeks, a few months, a few days, who knows? I don't know. Now they're saying Russia's definitely going to attack, and if they even do, it'll just be to see how far the U.S. will go. It's kind of like a practice run. It's all right. Let's kind of distract and make America look as stupid as possible and incompetent as possible. So when they do attack Taiwan, they'll know what to expect, and they can use it against the U.S. To the rest of the world, because they can say, look what the U.S. did. They did nothing for Ukraine. Or look what the U.S. did. They overfeared what was not going to happen, so don't listen to them. And then while U.S. is saying they're going to attack Taiwan, they're going to try to take it over, people won't listen to the U.S. because they did the same thing to Ukraine. So either way, it's not a good thing. They're going to use whatever information that they get to go forward with their plans. So that is what this one's called. I don't know if it's going to be called Poisoned Frog, or it might just go into the Olympics. I see somewhere in here the Olympic rings. I assume it'll probably be in here because most of, or like in the eyes. Actually, it's kind of looking like it right there. I'm not sure. This little island, which is, everything means something in this. So I thought this was his foot, but this looks like the island of Taiwan. So I don't know. It's seeming more and more as I look at it that it is more about the poison frog strategy, where you've got Russia pretending or acting like they're going to attack Ukraine to not only figure out what the U.S. is doing, but also use it against the U.S. in propaganda for the future when they do decide to attack Taiwan. So I wanted to jump on before the big game today and just go over that. And, I hope I'm wrong type situation, but it's looking like a lot of it I'd probably be right on, and especially with the digital yuan when they're trying to get it into the hands of everyone. Definitely, if you want to do your research on that, look at how China is trying to basically take over not take over the world, but basically become the new superpower, and they're doing everything they can, and they're getting away with it. Their people are allowing it. They'd rather be under surveillance and have what the Western world has than not at all. So it's a little scary, but you know what? The world is scary right now. So have fun with the pretty art, and I guess it's a graphic novel, right? It is a graphic novel documentary of what we're going through. So that is it. I will just recap. If you've lasted this long, this is where we are. This is all 4 chapters all lined up, and you see we're in the middle. Well, we're past the middle, so we're in basically the middle of chapter 3, and then 5 will be the closing top of it, and then the bottom piece will be the reflection of the top. So a really crazy, kind of an anti-chapter. Like, this is where we are, and this is where we could have been. It's going to be a weird one, but that doesn't start till 2027, so we got time on that. For right now, remember, each 2 pieces done each month, and it just keeps revealing a little bit more of the story as we go. But like I said, we've got this one right here, and that's definitely having to do with cryptocurrency. And then we've got this one here, and like I said, it's crypto, because it's the digital yuan against crypto. It's the U.S. hoping to. I'm hoping stable coins might actually be a good benefactor from what's going on with China. So it's the anti-China idea of stable coins to help the U.S. dollar stay dominant, but also Russia's attack on Ukraine and what it means for Taiwan and China. So that is it, my friends. I hope you have a great day. Go Bengals. I want to see them win.